You've seen it before, even if you didn't know what you were looking at. A photo of Earth taken at night from space. The continents are dark. The cities glow in their usual clusters along the coastlines, and then hundreds of miles out into the open ocean where there is no land at all. A chain of brilliant white light so bright that astronauts on the International Space Station have mistaken them for cities. They're not cities. There's nothing out there but water. Those are boats. Each one is burning enough light to outshine a small town. And on every single one of them, somewhere underneath all that blinding glare, a man is trying to fall asleep. Here's the thing most people never stop to think about. A squid boat doesn't turn its lights off at night. It can. The lights are the entire reason the boat is out there. They run from dusk until dawn, hour after hour, pouring out a glare so intense you can read a newspaper on deck at 3 in the morning. And the crew? They live inside that light for weeks at a time. So how does anyone sleep in the middle of it? There are 3 layers to this story. The first explains why the lights have to be that violent in the first place. The second reveals how the crew actually shuts the world out and rests. And the third is something almost nobody expects, something that changes how you think about that glowing dot on the satellite map. By the end of this video, you'll never look at one of those ocean lights the same way again. So let's start with the obvious question. Why not just use less light, dimmer bulbs, fewer of them, something a human being can actually live next to? It seems reasonable, but it misses what's really going on under the water. A modern squid boat can carry more than 100 lamps. Together, they push out as much as 300 kilowatts of light. To put that in perspective, that is enough electricity to power dozens of homes, all of it dumped into the sea from a single vessel. And it is not decoration, it is a trap, and it is built around the biology of the animal they are hunting. Squid spend their daylight hours deep, sometimes hundreds of meters down, far below where any fisherman could reach them. They only rise toward the surface in darkness, so the boats wait for night and then they cheat. The lights flood the black water with an artificial day. Plankton drift up toward the glow. Small fish follow the plankton, and the squid follow the small fish, climbing up out of the deep right into the bright ring of water around the hull where the jigging lines are waiting. Take the lights away, and the squid stay down where no one can touch them. There is no dimmer version of this that works. The fishing only happens because the glare is overwhelming. And here is the part that sets up everything else. If the lights are the bait, then the lights run all night. Every night the boat is fishing, which means the crew is not working a normal day with a quiet night to sleep through. They are living on a schedule that has been turned completely upside down. And that is where the real survival begins. Here is something most people do not realize about this kind of work. The crew sleeps during the day. The squid only come up in the dark, so the boat fishes through the entire night and the men work right through it, hauling lines, sorting catch, clearing the deck, resetting the gear. By the time the sun comes up and the lights finally switch off, they have been on their feet for a brutal stretch. Crews on boats like these regularly run 18 to 20-hour working stretches, grabbing only 4 or 5 hours of sleep before they are back up doing it again. They are chronically, permanently short on rest, and they sleep when the rest of the world is awake. But that still leaves the problem of the light itself. Because the lights don't only blast outward into the water, they spill across the deck, off the rigging, off the white paint, off the sea until the whole vessel sits inside a dome of glare you cannot escape just by closing your eyes. So the boat is built to solve it. The sleeping quarters are below deck, tucked down inside the hull where the steel and the waterline block out the worst of the light from above. The bunks are stacked tight in a small, windowless space sealed off from the working deck by a heavy door. Down there, with the hatch shut, the glare finally stops. Add a curtain across the bunk and a man coming off a 20-hour shift can drop into something close to real darkness even while the boat above him is lit up like a stadium. It is not comfortable in the way a bed on land is comfortable. The space is cramped. The engine hums through the hull. The boat rolls. But it is dark, and after a night under 300 lamps, darkness is the only thing that matters. And yet, even with all of that, there's a moment every crewman knows that no amount of engineering can fix. Picture it. It's the middle of the night, deep into the season, hundreds of miles offshore. You've slept maybe 4 hours. You climb up out of the dark hull and step onto the deck, and the light hits you like a wall. 300 kilowatts, full sun in the middle of the black ocean, reflecting off the water in every direction. There is nowhere to look that isn't blinding. Your body has no idea what time it is. Your eyes water, and you've got a full shift in front of you before you'll see real darkness again. This is the part of the job the photos from space never show. From orbit, it looks beautiful, a delicate string of jewels on the sea. From the deck, it's relentless. And that brings us to the third layer, the one almost nobody thinks about. The real cost of this work isn't the cold or the labor or even the danger. It's what living inside an artificial day does to the human body. Your body runs on an internal clock, and that clock is set by light. Bright light in your eyes tells your brain it's daytime, stay awake. Darkness tells it to release the hormones that let you sleep. Now drop a person into a place where the brightest light of their entire day happens at 2 in the morning and where they're trying to sleep while the sun is up. The clock breaks. The body never fully settles into either day or night. Researchers who study fishermen on these rotating around-the-clock schedules have found exactly this. The cycle sits outside the range your internal clock can lock onto, so the men carry a constant grinding sleep debt that never quite gets paid off. That's the hidden price of the glowing dot on the satellite map. Not danger you can see, but a slow erosion that comes from working against the most basic rhythm a human body has. And here's what surprises people. Ask the men who do this whether the lights are the worst part, and a lot of them will not say yes. They'll tell you that you stop seeing the glare after a while, that the body somehow adapts to the impossible, that there's a strange calm out there that people on land never get to feel. Hundreds of miles from anyone, the deck lit up like noon. The black ocean all around, the only sound, the hum of the generators, and the slap of water on the hull. It's one of the loneliest, most extreme workplaces on the planet, and the people who survive a season of it often describe it as the most unforgettable thing they've ever done. So the next time you see one of those photos, that beautiful chain of lights floating in the middle of the dark ocean, remember what's actually down there. Not a city, a boat. And below the deck, in a sealed dark room under 300 blinding lamps, a man sleeping through the daylight so the rest of us can have calamari. Now I want to hear from you. Could you sleep with the sun up and work all night under lights that bright? Drop a yes or no in the comments. If you learned something today, hit the like button. It helps more people find this channel. Subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next one.